Fanboys and fangirls everywhere love to share their thoughts on and discuss the stories and properties they love, and I am no exception. This is the series where I share various opinions, talk about interesting little tidbits I've noticed, pose questions, and analyse different aspects of the things I love. Welcome to the Fan Ramblings. So as a Doctor Who fan, or Whovian, whichever label you prefer, I've accumulated a fair amount of knowledge of the franchise over the years. I have, after all, been watching it since I was 10. I'm 21 now, that's literally over half my life. Us Whovians are pretty good at spotting Easter eggs, fun little references to old episodes, and sneaky little extra details that make you realise just how on the ball the makers of the show are at times. We're also pretty good at spotting flaws, plot holes, and continuity errors, which make you realise just how not on the ball the makers of the show can be at times. Today, I'm here to talk about one such continuity error I spotted recently. Now, Doctor Who's an interesting case because it's the product of a simpler time. Being created in the 1960s, back when episodes of TV shows were only ever broadcast once and rarely ever seen again, the writers weren't too fussed about keeping things consistent. If people were only going to see any given episode once, chances are they're not going to remember, or notice something in a later episode that contradicts it. If they're not going to notice, why bother? Especially when not bothering allows greater creative elbow room. So at this point, continuity and consistency in Doctor Who are basically fucked. But the fans know this, are able to accept it, and move on. Just enjoy each story for what it is. Generally, I'm the first in line to do this, but this is one error I felt deserved special attention because of how easily it was made, and because there are multiple examples beforehand of it being avoided. The continuity error in question is this, not from Doctor Who itself, but from the recent spin-off, Class. The character Tanya had a dad who died in 2014, which the series says was 2 years ago, placing it firmly in 2016. Makes sense, this is the year it was broadcast after all. However, the series is also supposed to take place after Clara Oswald's death in the Doctor Who episode Face the Raven, which, when you follow the timeline of the series, has to take place in 2017. Whoops! But Adam, you may well ask, why does Face the Raven have to take place in 2017? Allow me to explain. First of all, we have to jump back to the Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe, where Amy tells the Doctor it's been 2 years since she and her husband last saw him, which was at his apparent death in 2011, placing the scene at Christmas 2013. Presumably, as we're not told anything to the contrary, this means that Pond Life takes place from April to August 2014. I will go ahead and assume the present-day scenes of Asylum of the Daleks take place in September 2014, because that works out quite nicely. In the following episode, Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, Amy says it's been 10 months since she last saw the Doctor. Ignoring any additional media, such as books and comics and what have you, and sticking strictly to the TV series itself, if the present day of Asylum is set in September 2014, this means the present day of Dinosaurs can't be any earlier than July 2015. This fits rather nicely with the Power of 3, which opens in July of an unspecified year. Now this is one of the crucial bits, because it's here that we see Kate Stewart first meet the Doctor, July 2015. Hopping onto the Clara era, dialogue in the name of the Doctor places the present day of that episode slap bang on the 10th of April 2013, so she presumably met him earlier that year. Fast forward to the very next episode, the day of the Doctor, and we have Kate Stewart again, who has a full knowledge of the Doctor and has already met him. So unless there's been some off-screen timey-wimey meddling with the time stream, Day of the Doctor has to take place sometime in 2015, contrary to what the official synopsis tells us. This would presumably place the present day of the time of the Doctor at Christmas 2015, with the present day of Series 8 being 2016. All this would fit with multiple lines of dialogue from Series 8. Clara's age has jumped up 3 years from what it was implied, though never explicitly confirmed to be in The Bells of St. John, and the Doctor talks about the year 2016 in the Forest of the Night. Why would he be randomly talking about 2 years in the future? That particular line of dialogue only makes sense if the episode in question takes place in 2016. So if the present day of Series 8 is 2016, that presumably means Last Christmas takes place on Christmas 2016 from Clara's perspective, placing the present day of Series 9 in, that's right, 2017. So if Class takes place after Clara's death in Series 9, that means the earliest it can take place is also 2017. Yet the background information we're given places the series firmly in the year of 2016. I'll say it again. Whoops! Fortunately, there's something else us Whovians are very good at. Coming up with our own explanations to fix errors or just deal with things that never got explained. So, how do we explain this one? Well, the best thing that I can come up with that isn't needlessly complicated is this. There isn't anything in Class that I've spotted that explicitly places the series in 2016, apart from the headstone of Tanya's dad. There's no dialogue I can think of or anything like that that says so. So we could say that the series does actually take place in 2017, and that the engravers at the headstone just somehow managed to carve the wrong year into it. And because headstones are expensive, the family just hasn't been able to afford to replace it. Yeah, it's not a great explanation, but it's the best I got. What about you? You got anything better? If you do, be sure to leave it in the comments below, and feel free to share any other weird or funny continuity errors or plot holes you reckon you've spotted. Until the next time, folks.